Good morning, everybody, wherever you are, however you may be listening. This is your Wednesday wrap-up, and we got Herb jamming out already.
Can you tell I've had a little bit of coffee?
All the coffee. I like it.
Yes.
I'm still working on it myself.
Well, my wife fixed me some before she left today, so I think she loves me.
I got you. I like it. Hey, what's up, Zach? What's up, Wen?
Wait a minute. That's the first time Zach has ever said good morning and not told us what day it is. Are you feeling okay, Zach? Is everything all right?
That's right.
Blink twice if you're in danger.
Right. And you can yell good morning. That's all right.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here.
Exactly. And my mom jumping in. Hey.
What's up?
So,
by the way, Win is like me. Instead of going back and retyping it, I will absolutely type an explanation that's longer than the original.
Right.
Just retyping. That is me to a T.
So the thing that's funny about that is, like, it would make sense if the good morning was already posted.
Right.
Hey.
What's up, David? No, I do it all the time. So I can't. I love it, Win. That's why I appreciate you.
And if you're watching, be sure to check out his stuff. He has some electric shows, also a content creator. So definitely check him out. He's awesome.
I don't think I got it.
Oh, man. So, I mean, lots going on. Starting off with the NFL. Man, every primetime game was terrible. Like,
what happened?
It's not even the low scoring. Like, low scoring, I'm fine with, right? Like, if it was a good defensive struggle, like, I'm with it. 'Cause I'm a defensive guy. I like seeing a good defense. That is not what we were watching. Like, there was moments of decent defense, but it was just terrible offense mostly. Like, you watched guys, they were wide open. Some of them, the ball even hit the receivers in the hands and just couldn't bring it in. It was, just ugly football in prime time. And so we have this fun little soundbite from Bo Nix, who was involved in one of those just terrible showings.
Some of their reaction, boos and that kind of thing.
Well, I've been booed before and I'll be booed again, so not going to be the last time. It's obviously unfortunate. You don't want your own fans booing you, but, it's part of it.
I mean, if you play like that, you're going to get booed again for sure.
Yeah. Especially with ticket prices being what they are. Like, there's just a different expectation of what we're seeing on the field. And like you said, you can handle low scoring, if it's great defense. But if your offenses just look terrible, and how'd you get 2 10-7 games?
Right?
Like, did the Eagles see the first one and go, yeah, that's what we want to do? So
the other thing that was funny about that is there was also 2 44-22 games. So
that's weird. Yeah,
like, it was just kind of a weird weekend around the league, but man, it was just I don't know. It was actually just kind of a lot of bad football all weekend, but the primetime games were just worse. Because we had a 42-26. Like, it was just It was either a blowout or it was anemic offense. You had the Bills forgetting to play football the whole time.
Wow.
I mean, they lost to the Dolphins 30-13. Like, that should never happen.
And it wasn't even that close. They had to tack on some stuff at the end just to get double digits. I remember watching what was like halfway through the third thinking, are they about to get shut out by the Dolphins?
Exactly.
What? A week after beating the Chiefs. So that doesn't make any sense either. I get let down games, but it's still in your division. You're not first in your division. That game means, arguably just as much, if not more, than the Chiefs game the week before. That should be a game it's easy to get up for, especially a team, Dolphins is just like, hey, are we firing everybody or what's going on? We tried to trade off as many pieces as we thought we should before the trade deadline. So
Well,
Doesn't
and
make any sense.
it should have been an easy game to get up for because one, you should be able to beat them up, and two, you're trying to keep pace with the Patriots, which is weird to say at the end of this year. But I mean, the Patriots just keep winning.
Yep.
If the Bills want to be in the mix, like they're going to have to win the games that are supposed to be slated as wins.
For sure. And you've already lost to them once. So, yeah, you're behind here. So that's what I'm saying. That game should have meant more than the Chiefs game, really, and being in your division. So I don't know. I don't know how you lay such an egg. And like I said, maybe you get jumped out on by a team that you don't expect. But having 0 points, like I said, midway through the third quarter makes no sense for Bills offense. Like last week, you're saying, hey, is Josh Allen a possible MVP candidate? And then the next week, it's just you fall off a cliff. Like, no, things like that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, well, especially against a team that doesn't play defense very well.
Right.
So it's not like you're like, oh, yeah, this was Denver's defense or something like that. Because then you're like, okay, opportunistic, whatever. Got it. We're talking about the Dolphins. Like, that's not – that is not the same animal. You're talking about a bottom third defense, and you're playing like they are the number one defense in the league. It just I don't know. It was a weird thing to watch. I mean, I'm sure Raj was stoked. Or though maybe not.
I don't know if he knows how to feel anymore. Yeah, he's just like on the flip side of games like this, teams like the Dolphins and the Jets, in the short term, everybody wants to fight and win, right?
Sure.
But your long term is probably better with you fighting and losing, because then at least you show that you have something. But getting the better draft picks at this point is probably better for you than, squeaking out a win. You're not making the playoffs. Like, that's just not happening.
No.
So,
yeah, no, their season's a wrap. Like, that's
right.
not the case for sure.
So losing this game probably would have been better. And just for context, the only other team, like Buffalo scored 13 and the Falcons have scored 10, and that's it. Cleveland put up 31 on Miami. So that should give you some context for this defense.
Yeah, no, it just that showing didn't make a lot of sense. And I get trap games exist, but not like that.
No.
I mean, it almost looked like they just went out and partied the week or the night before. As bad as they were playing, it's like they were just nursing hangovers or something, because it was just it was a terrible showing top to bottom.
Yep. And I was wrong on that. The third quarter was also scoreless. They put up their 13 points in the fourth quarter.
Uh-oh.
But they somehow also gave up 14. So in the fourth. So couldn't get it any closer than that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, they were beating all three phases of the game. They did nothing well in that. So, but I mean, there were definitely some upsets. Like, I didn't have the Jets beating the Browns. Now, the Browns aren't good, but the Jets literally just sold off half their team. So I was like, okay, that's probably going to go poorly. I didn't have the Saints beating up the Panthers. Again, not that the Panthers are a juggernaut or anything like that, but the Saints are awful. And so I thought for sure they'd have been able to get something done there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
especially since they showed a little signs of life lately. They've been playing better for them and winning a couple games you wouldn't have thought. But I guess it's the same thing. You go from beating Green Bay to losing to the Saints at home. Like,
now I will say that Shook looked good.
Right.
It does look like they made a good decision in drafting him. So you got to be encouraged if you're a Saints fan. But at the same time, you probably don't want to win a ton of these, right? Like, you want to get these draft picks. The good thing, I guess, for them is a lot of the bad teams won, and so you're still in the mix for that number one overall pick. So I guess that's cool. But
all the bad teams got together and said, we're going to do this together. So that's what I'm saying. Your short term, you want to fight, but your long term needs you to lose. Which, by the way, the Jets won and Justin Fields threw for 54 yards. And they didn't win a 10-7 game. They won. I guess if you have 2 return touchdowns, that really skews.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? Like, even the Seattle game, that's a much closer game if you don't have 2 scoop and scores by the defense, right?
Right.
So, So yeah, I mean, anytime your defense can score, and obviously that's the recipe for success for Justin Fields anyway. Like that's how he won games with Pittsburgh.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, anytime the defense can score, that obviously helps you out so much.
Yes. Yes. I think for him though, he's just kind of proved like you're not the long term, and it's the second they can get another person in there, that's happening. So sorry, Fields. I think you've had your chances, but it's done. So what up? That's why I love you, Raj.
Are you sure you're not a Dallas fan? So speaking of another team that is terrible and just got a little weirder is the Giants. So Russell Wilson comes in, 2-score lead. What, 6 minutes left, 4 minutes left, something like that. Manages to engineer a loss for his team that ultimately gets its coach fired. Yes. Now, Dable, let's be real, probably should have been fired at the end of last year anyway. So it's not like that was a shock or anything like that. But he was actually having pretty good chemistry. Now, he's put Dart in harm's way, though. Like, this was the 4th time he's been evaluated for.
Yeah. I don't know if that's me or you. Oh, that's me, isn't it?
I wasn't sure if it was you or me. So I was just like, oh, I hope what I'm saying.
I can't tell with this stuff anymore.
Yeah, man. But, so you got decent chemistry with him and Dart. He's put Dart in harm's way. This is the 4th time he's been evaluated for a concussion this season. So, I mean, like there is an issue there. I think what ultimately got him fired here was, you bring Russ in, which, okay, I guess, whatever. Although Russ didn't have good chemistry with this team when everyone was healthy, and now you're down a running back and you're starting receiver. I didn't see how that was going to go particularly well. He then goes 12 plays for 7 yards, right? Yeah. So that's awesome. But you have this guy, Jameis Winston, that's sitting on your bench, right?
Yes.
That you're paying way more than Russ. You also have Winston for 2 years. Russ is done at the end of this year. If you put Russ out there, which, fair enough, right? You're like, hey, we have a better chance with Russ. He comes in for 2 drives, goes 3 and out on both. Don't you think, hey, you know what? We're trying to preserve this win because now we've given up a touchdown there within 3. Why wouldn't you give Winston a shot? I think that decision there is ultimately what got him fired.
Right. Especially considering now that Winston is starting the next game for them. So that tells you that they were like, yeah, you're just bad at this. And we all know Winston. Winston is a good spark plug. You're going to get a touchdown one way or another on the next drive for your team or the other team. But the potential is still there. I was one of those, maybe I was wrong, but against when Dable brought out Dart in the first place. But you could tell his hopes were tied to him because I've never seen a coach like basically going and fighting to get a guy out of concussion protocol to get him back in a game.
That was wild.
Wild. Enough to where people are getting fined. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I have never seen that before. Yeah, no, we cared about him. Okay, yes, I cared about my job, but yes, I kind of cared about like that. That was And they should have done this.
He's poking his head in there, and he's like, "What's your name? What's your name?" And he's like, "Tuesday," and he's like, "Perfect." Like,
yes. He's good. Get him out there, And I honestly thought he would end up surviving this because you know how I am about built-in excuses. And then once you, like you said, you lose the players that you're losing.
Yep.
I figured I'm like, okay, it's not your fault. But there was no evidence in anything before this to make me think that he was the guy, especially the long-term guy. So, and my fear when this all started was for Jackson Dart, starting with this, it not going well, he firing him, and hey, here's a new system for year 2 anyway. So, And then none of it made sense, like you said, with the Jameis Winston thing. The whole thing, I mean, like Seattle, if something happened to Darnold, Milroe's not jumping out there all of a sudden, right? They're like, we got another guy for a reason, and that's to insulate you for a year so you can catch up. Because the rookies start year one, they do well, and then the last half of the year they don't do well because there's a little more film on them. People kind of get used to them, and everybody catches up. So, like, do you want to do that to Jackson Dart in year one, or do you want to give him a chance for you to build a little bit better team around him? So.
Well, and I mean, Dart put himself in some of those situations too, right? Because he
For
ran
sure.
himself into trouble. This last one where he got a concussion wasn't really on him. Like, it's the way he got spun to the ground. So, I mean, like, that is what it is. That was a football play. It just is what it is. But like some of the times he does run himself into a situation similar to like Tua used to do,
Right.
where he's almost initiating contact that you're going to get hurt in. So,
Right.
He's got to be
So
smarter.
he used to do that in college. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to be smarter on the field, right? So,
Right.
And that's something he'll learn because he's gonna be like, oh, you know what? These hurt.
Yes. Well, what do we always say when you jump up that level, man? That guy that you used to outrun, the third linebacker, you can't outrun.
Yep.
And that guy still hits you like you might go, oh, this guy's a scrub. Yeah, but he's a scrub that can hit. He might not be an NFL star, but he'll lay you out still. And that might be the last play he ever makes. Yeah, he got cut last week, but he laid Dart out before he went. It's just easier. You can't do the things he got away with in college.
It's wildly different when you're outrunning a guy that's 235 and runs a 5.9 versus you get to the NFL and he's 245 and runs a 4.4. It's like,
right.
Like, dude's going to light you up. Like,
yeah. I was out running a future accountant last week. This week. This guy's fighting for his NFL life. So, yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. So, speaking of good defense, the Seahawks had plenty of plays to choose from, but easily the best, could be the best play in the NFL this last weekend overall, but certainly on defense was this by our fifth string corner, because we have guys hurt in Pritchett. Pretty impressive the way he's stuck with this play, because Marvin Harrison Jr. absolutely catches this ball if he doesn't play this exactly how he did.
Downs again, Seattle holds. He did have it.
Oh, yeah.
And then look at that play. What a play by Pritchett. Wow.
Incredible play.
That is unbelievable. That's as good as it gets for a defensive back.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, they're not wrong. That is as good as it gets for a DB. Way to stick with this play. Because, I mean, that's just selling your body out. You're like, hey, I'm going to fall wherever I fall. Let me go get this thing.
Right.
And it's not like Harrison Jr. has bad hands.
Right. Well, there was not much he could do on that play. So that was like, okay, I'm getting the ball where it's good. I'm always impressed by guys who punch the ball out, but this is like next level. Because like they said, and I remember watching this play, I think, was it on Red Zone and popped up, but punching it out, knowing I can't brace myself as I'm going down because the other hand is up here, and getting the perfect punch and just going, okay, whatever happens, happens. No, I'm already impressed when guys like punch it out from a running back because that already takes a little precision while you're going. But falling to the ground, my whole thought would have just been like, oh, crap, not, oh, hey, there's the ball. So, and to save the touchdown, no, that's
continued to spin his body to go get it. Like, it was
right.
It was impressive. Like, that was quite the play. And it's funny when you think about the fact that he's literally like your fourth option as a corner on this team. So he's only on the field because of the amount of injuries they have. And you're just like, man, that's your fourth guy. Like, that's amazing.
Yes. Yes. He's like, look, I don't want to come back out ever. So here we go. I'm going to show you why I should still be out there. So I ain't mad at you.
Yep.
Seattle's showing up pretty well. You're starting to see them more in little stuff about possible Super Bowl contenders. The Darnold thing has worked out way better, I guess, than people expected at the beginning of the year.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's it was a great play.
Yes.
Yeah, no, like it's funny because you're heading into week 11 and the team is 7-2, and the national media is just now like, oh, yeah, I guess Seattle seems like they're okay. It's like, you guys realize they're top 5 in like everything, right? Like,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
Like, I don't know how you guys didn't accidentally stumble across them when you were just watching stats.
Right. Right.
Now, don't get me
I think
wrong,
everybody expected Darnold to fail, and I think they're just
For
kind of remembering what they had last year and with Geno. And I mean, it's just been great. And what Jackson Smith and Jigba, maybe your best wide receiver all of a sudden, or at least getting great play. I mean, that's a guy you can count on. Cooper Kupp hasn't even been out there really, and you're still doing what you're doing. So, no.
Yeah, I mean,
they're playing well,
as
and the
it
defense
sits
is playing well.
As it sits now, I mean, he was our number 1 last year anyway, JSN was.
Right.
But, I mean, you're looking at him now as the best receiver in the league.
Right.
And you're like, oh, okay. Like, let's go.
Yep.
So, but
He's
yeah.
almost
I
200
didn't
more yards than Chase, who's second. So that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's like I didn't have that on my bingo card at all.
No.
So, I mean,
Drafted him in one fantasy league, but that's it.
Yeah, well, no, like I could see him in fantasy because he puts up numbers, right? So that would have been a good pickup. But I mean, before the season, I was like, this is a 10-win team. I feel like they're easily going to get there.
Yeah.
Now, this coming
If
week,
they didn't, someone's getting fired.
well, yeah, I mean, talk about the most ridiculous drop off, right? But this coming week is, man, talk about an awesome game coming up. Because you got the Seahawks Rams both at 7-2, both absolutely destroyed the competition this last weekend. Because we beat up on the Cards, they beat up on the Niners, and I mean, it'll be for the division, potentially for the number 1 spot in the NFC.
Which sounds like a great game, but your Monday night game is Cowboys Raiders, but that's fine. I will be watching the Seahawks
Rams. That's why I started the show with what is wrong with primetime right now, because I feel like we could have flexed this game.
Goodness. Something.
Now, I don't know that you get to start flexing quite yet. I think 13, it's like 12 or 13, I think is the first games you get to start flexing out. But I mean, you could have looked at this particular game a month ago and been like, yeah, you know what? That probably shouldn't be in prime time. Or if it is in prime time, it should be a Thursday night game because they're required to suck.
Yes.
Contractually, you're like, you know what? No, that's a good game. Get that out of here.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You're absolutely right on that one. This makes no sense. They're not even like the prime 3 o'clock, 3:25 game.
Well,
it's 3:05.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's kind of weird. And then, but it makes sense why they're not the Sunday night game, because Sunday night game is going to be good. That is Eagles and Lions.
Right.
So basically, you're going to go right from Seahawks Rams into Eagles Lions. So that is a great tandem of games there. And the winner of those games is going to be the number 1 seed, right? Like if the Eagles win, they will be the number 1 seed because they have the tiebreaker against everybody. If the Rams win and the Eagles lose, they're number 1. If the Seahawks win and the Eagles lose, they're number 1. I think the Lions I'm not sure if they have a tiebreaker. I don't know if they can end up number 1, but I mean, there's 3 different teams vying for that number 1 spot. Now, obviously, we're talking week 11, so lots will change before the end of the season. But
for sure.
But you're seeing a tight grouping at the top of the NFC.
Yeah, for sure. Some teams are separating themselves, and I think some other teams are kind of getting ready. I think Tampa Bay is still kind of the enigma in there because I'm never sure exactly what to expect from them, and will they ever be 100% healthy? So I don't know. But yeah, Detroit still looks like a juggernaut, especially offensively. And then they dropped that game to Minnesota a couple weeks ago, and you're like, that just a one-off? Like, what's going on? And then the Philly could win all the rest of their games or lose all the rest of their games. And I don't know that any, like, I don't know that anything would surprise me. This last game was just terrible by them with the Packers. So
it was bad. I mean, it's still a win, but at least it wasn't as bad as like the Bills.
Right. And it's a quality opponent you played, so at least you know it wasn't like Broncos versus the Raiders and looking bad at 10-7.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's kind of the way I look at it, right? Like you're talking about Green Bay, who is realistically gonna be a wild card team, right? Or if they miss, like they miss by a game. They probably missed by their tie, honestly. But
right. To Dallas of all teams, but that's fine.
Exactly. So, I mean, you know, yeah, I look at that one and it's like, okay, that was a good, like, it was a good win still. Ugly, but, you know, ugly wins are still wins.
Right.
But it was against a quality opponent. You know, if it was that score and they were playing Tennessee, I'd be like, ooh, what is wrong with this team? But,
right. No, that's fair. And as bad as they look, they're still 7-2 and leading their division. So, I mean, their division's terrible now. But yes, you, like you said, you do need to start. And it's funny, I criticize them, but like for our college games, I'm like, look, you just got to start celebrating the wins. You know, you can't maybe dissect how they look. But if you get enough ugly wins and you're in the playoffs, all of a sudden, you're going to celebrate that, right? So,
and that's where college really changed, right? Because when it was just the 4 teams getting in, you needed the style points, right? Because it was a voting game, which was stupid. It still is, but at least it's a bigger field now. So wins matter more as opposed to, oh, I beat them by 40. Well, you only beat them by 12, so you're out of the playoffs. It's like, wait, what?
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. You're right. It led to a lot of, okay, they're up 30 in the fourth quarter. The starters are still in because, you know, 30 needs to really be 40 for later on for all these people who are voting and not watching any games or doing any research, you know. So, no, it absolutely, like I said, it's still stupid and there's still arguments and there's still stuff they can't ever get right. But, I mean, they've only had, you know, a million years to get it right. So I understand there's still a process.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, when you think of for 100 years, they're like, we can't do a playoff, even though literally every other kind of football does.
Right.
So, yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense.
No, at all. What up, Chad?
What's happening, Chad? Yeah, no, I saw you got Sammy. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know about all that, J-Bake.
Yeah, they've been talking more about that. I don't think Kiffin's ready to head to the NFL. I think he stays college.
So speaking of funny coaching moves, might as well do that real quick. They're talking Mike McCarthy for the Giants. I'm like, why?
Yeah. Just throwing stuff out there now, huh? Yeah, J-Bake, I'm with you.
Well, they're saying that potentially a front runner for that spot. And I'm like, first off, dude got fired yesterday, so I don't know how you have a front runner yet anyway. But but at the same time, that is terrible. Like, why would you do that? No.
I'll make my comment after the break, but no.
Yeah, no, we're not going to see an immediate change. That being said, that does get us to the halfway point. If you are watching on, or if you're listening on ICU Radio 97.3, we do have some, you're drinking some coffee if you're watching the radio. But we do have some smooth jazz headed your way coming up next. Otherwise, stay tuned right here on YouTube at Football-Talk. And we got a lot more coming up in the next half hour here. And you're
speaking of that, but sometimes I'll ask ChatGPT for a thumbnail, and what ChatGPT thinks we look like versus what we really look like is always an interesting adventure. So that's what I imagine the people who are listening who have never watched the show, maybe they go through that same thing.
So the next time you do that, send me what it is that sent you. just because I think that'll be hilarious. It's funny because the radio station uses one of my pictures from being on the court, but then they let AI modify it for, I don't even know why you would do that, but they do it. and it's funny because every time they do it, it makes me like 50 pounds heavier. Right. So it is the funniest thing. And every time I see it, I'm like, first off, I don't know why you don't just use the actual photo, but then like, it just straight doesn't look like me because my face is like 2 inches wider. And I'm just like, what are we doing? But hey, whatever. I mean, they can do whatever they want. Doesn't bother me because every time I see it, I laugh. Right. But at the same time, it's like I have actual like pictures. Like I don't know.
I think that's my favorite. It never asked me to upload one. It just went, I know the names are Herb and Bo. This is what I imagine Herb and Bo look like. Here we go.
See, that sounds like it's funny because I know it's not even remotely close. No,
at all. And I said, Raj, I'll give him a quick no, Raj. I mean, I think Quinn, we like Q because he's from Alabama, of course, but too little, too late, and you can't change a whole terrible defensive scheme with one person. I don't think so.
Yes, that is exactly right. Yes, I would be very chunky if I had a fast food sponsor in my 20s because I was poor and I would have ate there nonstop.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember eating my hamburger helper, watching my TV, sitting on cinder block furniture, like my couch. So
we all had our days. I stayed in an apartment once that after I moved after a year, my mom said, "I'm so glad you're moving. I used to pray for you every night in that place."
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh, dang, Mom.
Yeah, a lot of people's fantasy teams have taken some hits.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
I just text you the picture, by the way.
Oh, sweet.
Of one of the last ones I gave. I didn't think you wanted to post it, but I'm at least
yeah. Okay.
You can tell how old it is because that's the last time I asked them. But
dang.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Man, you know what? Put it in there. Let's post that because that's just funny.
Okay. And Chad, I'm not. It was a Chad that said it. I'm not mad at Winston starting this next game. I mean, the season is pretty much lost at this point. They are a dumpster fire, so yeah. So this is so ChatGPT says we look like, guys, and I don't know which is which though. But
I'm gonna go with I'm probably the old guy, right? Although I don't know, you got glasses.
I know he's wearing glasses, and I'm the old guy, so I can see it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you have to save Dart anyway because he's concussion protocol. But
I like the idea of just saving him anyway. Period. Banged up, you've lost your wide receiver, like you said, you've lost your running back. Winston will give you a spark, good or bad, be entertaining, and the season's lost. So you don't necessarily need to win games anyway down the stretch or get your starting quarterback beat up.
So I guess it depends on whether or not you think whoever your interim guy is going to be elevated to your head coach.
True.
Right. True. So like if you are thinking, hey, the guy we're elevating might be the guy, you need him to go out and play with all the toys you have available because you need to see if it works. If you have an interim guy and you're just like, you're not our dude, you're just our dude today.
Right.
Then yeah, you don't have to, right? You can be like, okay, let's just keep you healthy. Let's just try and get everybody back for next year. I get it. At the same time, the product has to be good enough people keep coming to the stadium.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't completely mail it in. And that's the thing, right? Is you got Winston where you're just like, okay, he's at least going to be fun to watch. You're probably not going to win, but he's going to be fun to watch. It's because he's crazy.
Exactly.
And then his pressers are going to be off the wall because, I feel like I feel like his brain is a bag of cats. Like you just really don't know what's going on in there.
Yes.
But yeah. So
I would have Jameis mic'd up every game.
No question. Yeah.
Playing or not playing.
Yep. The pressers before and after the game, the mid-game, random player grab and mic'd up. Like give him the mic as much as possible because worst case scenario, people are going to tune in just for whatever crazy stuff comes out of his face.
Yes. Definitely love Jameis. He's a character. He needs a TV deal of some sort after this football is done. So.
Yeah, Kiffin to the Giants. I don't know.
I'm always just wary of college guys going to the pros. And I know Kiffin's been there once, but he just seems to be a college guy. And he seems to be finding his footing. And he's already, if he leaves Ole Miss, I think Florida has clearly already been calling. That wouldn't be a bad step, just resources wise, not state of the program wise. But I just see him staying in college, and I just think we've seen it way too often now. I mean, the list of college coaches that are, that make it in the NFL as head coaches, like that list is just not that long.
There is a coach in college right now that, could go up there.
Belichick? Are you going to say Belichick?
Hey, he's currently ruining a different franchise. So,
hey, they won a game or two lately. They're actually on the upswing.
They won They won 2 in a row. His post-game speech was truly inspirational. If you haven't, I didn't cue that because I didn't know we were going to talk about it, but. If you listen to it, it's funny because you're just like, that is the least good job guys ever. But yeah.
Sounds like a Bill Belichick thing though. I'll have to go check it out too myself.
Yeah. And I mean, college coaches are getting tired of the NIL stuff, but at the same time, it does get them good preparation for making the jump. Right? Because now you're getting similar attitudes in college that you do in the pros. So in some ways, it might actually make the transition from college to pro a little bit easier.
Right.
I would suspect that you start seeing on the guys that come up, especially if they get to be heavily involved in personnel changes, that they start having first and second year seasons Pete Carroll coming to Seattle and Harbaugh going to the Chargers, where they're very familiar with the college ranks and some of the depth pieces. So they get to bring some of those guys up because, they had an inside look. Now, whether or not it works long-term, who knows? But I feel like you might start getting a little more of those sparks as they ascend to the NFL, just because the familiarity and there's so much movement within college football now. They're getting to see so much more of them, even if it wasn't somebody they played, just because they're moving around so much. So
that is true. And the way the NIL, to his point, the way it works now too is you have complete charts on anybody you think might be moving. So you're watching film of guys, I said are third running backs on other teams. So you're like, this might be a guy we go after, so I have to be familiar with him anyway, And I think that's part of his point with not wanting to stay in college. There's the good and the bad. For a coach to stay in college with the NIL, you do get a chance to remake your roster a lot quicker than in other places. But
year to year,
you have to recruit. Yep. But you have to recruit your team. You have to recruit the other team. You have to recruit guys who aren't even on the market, but you have to be familiar. So to both your guys' points, there's pros and cons each side. So if you do move to the NFL, for sure, that first year or two, you're going to be way more familiar with some people. They're like, this guy barely played at such and such, and they're drafting him. Why? And he's like, I saw the tape. I was watching those 10 carries he got in. They were 10 great carries, so I'm good.
Yep. Yeah, and Chad, it will be Flacco this week. Everything that I've heard so far, Burrow, his first chance to come back will be against the Ravens. So this should be Flacco this weekend. So See,
And at 3-6, ordinarily I would say, are they rushing him back? But I don't even know what I don't know what the NFL. So
yeah. No, I mean, I can't. I mean, to be fair, that division's still wide open. But
yeah, that's what I mean. It's wild to think at 3-6 that you're like, hey, we still got a shot. But yeah.
Yeah. No, and this is something that is very interesting with college because of the NIL and the way that it's become. You have to win immediately instead of building programs.
Right.
You know, you're starting to see coaches getting fired with ridiculous buyouts. I mean, you watched a couple of them with $50 million buyouts, and the schools are like, yeah, cool, whatever, on to the next. Like it legitimately has become NFL light at this point.
For sure. Well, to where the to LSU guy, what the governor stepped in and said, you're not allowed to hire the next coach because you guys don't know what you're doing. And have you seen they're fighting over the $54 million? Like, how did you not have this sorted before you did it? And you honestly say, hey, we're firing you. Will you take less money? Who's going to go, yeah, sure, I love you guys. I'll take, like, no. You fire me, I'm taking everything out the door.
Absolutely. I'm probably snagging a table on the way out. Like,
right, you know? I don't understand that at all.
And it's funny because that particular one, they're like, oh, well, we haven't officially fired you yet. It's like, wait, what? Like, you guys came out with a statement. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. On paper, we haven't. And it's like, what are you even talking about, right? So they're trying to find ways out of the contract for cause. It's like, come on. You guys messed up. It just is what it is. Eat the 54 and call it a day.
Yeah. This is not going to trial. Like, the lawyer for Brian Kelly is going to be like, seriously? What do you want to just print out a bunch of stuff from the internet and hand it to the judge? Like, here, judge. Here's all their statements. Here's everything they did. Like, the guy's not even going to get dressed up for court. He's going to show up in a robe. Just be like, here you go. I'm headed back to get back in bed. Like, come on, guys. Yes, you guys fired. You sent them home the day he showed up just so y'all could discuss firing him. So what did you guys think that was? And 2 weeks later, you're like, oh, you're not fired. We never officially fired you. Come on.
Even though you told everybody,
yes,
we're going to go a different route. Like, that is some weird, like, you're not going to win that. Because if you're him and you just haven't gotten the paperwork that says you're fired yet, but they've literally told everybody you're fired, including you.
Yes.
I would tend to believe them. I'd be like, I was told that we were fired. They told everybody else I was fired. Like, I came to the conclusion that I was fired.
You had a whole other game and nobody was like, where's Brian Kelly? Like, the official, there was no official statement. Brian Kelly has missed a game. It's, blah, blah, blah. No, just stop. There's no regretting at this point. Just pay the money and let's move on.
Yeah. I mean, you picked the path you wanted to go down. It's not like that number changed. Like, you're like, oh yeah, no, we're definitely firing you. We're going to eat the 54. And then as soon as you're done, you're like, wow, but that's 54 million. It's like, yeah, you probably should have thought of that like 2 weeks ago.
Basically, or back when you signed them to this contract that a lot of people thought wasn't going to work out. But hey, that's all you.
Absolutely. Still in the NFL here, we got we had a couple of players ejected, and it's funny because St. Brown actually started this, and I don't know why nobody was talking about it, but, obviously Darren Payne gets ejected and suspended for a game for punching St. Brown in the side of the head, right? But here's the video that has 2 plays prior, and then Darren's, punch.
We got in a little scuffle.
You saw St. Brown hit Duran?
Yeah, for sure. And they did too. There was some bullshit, back and forth, whatever, this and that and the other. And then, we end up scoring. And, I go up to him. I say a little something, nothing crazy. And then he decides to swing on me. So, I mean, it is what it is.
I like that he says that like he didn't do anything. But But I mean, he straight up punches him in the side of the helmet. Boom.
And we just skipped that part.
Yeah, like apparently that wasn't a thing. So somehow he doesn't get a suspension. I would bet that somebody mails him a fine.
Yeah.
But if you can go back and mail a guy a fine after the game, seems like you could levy a suspension as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and you should. And yeah, to Jay Bates' point, yes. The second person always gets caught in everything. We already know that in football. It's wild, but it's always. He also waited very long to swing second and made it really public,
well, yeah, I mean, he loaded up. And I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't have been suspended. I'm just saying St. Brown, after the fact, like in the game, maybe not, but the video exists, right?
Oh, no, he's definitely, yeah. And I like how he downplays all his stuff he did. Oh, I just went up to him, nothing crazy. Like, I was just like, hey, bro, you're not really good at this game. Like, yeah, okay.
Right. Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's stuff like that I always find irritating. It's like, if you're going to do it, just be consistent. I guess that's always my gripe when it comes to officiating in general, right? Just be consistent so everybody knows what it is. Like, I don't care if you are calling the game tight or you're letting guys get away with stuff. Just do it the same all game. And if you're the league office, if you're suspending somebody for punching somebody in the side of the helmet, be consistent. Do it to both guys. Now, I don't have a dog in the fight here, so I don't care either way. But at the end of the day, I just want to see games and, suspensions. I want it to be consistent across the league, across the players, right? You don't want to suspend St. Brown because he's a star. I mean, so now you're playing favoritism because he gets people in the seats. It's just like, okay, I don't know. I don't love any of that.
Yeah. And that's where you get yourself in trouble when you start letting certain groups get away with stuff. If he swung, go back, check it out. The tape is there.
Exactly.
It can't be just, oh, well, we just didn't catch it in the moment. No, you guys do it all the time. So there's plenty of things that you go back and look and see and check out. So no, do the right thing. Go ahead and have him suspended too, and let's move on. And maybe we'll quiet down the people who are like, oh, Payne should be suspended for the rest of the year. Like, come on, let's just stop it, guys. All right.
It's not that deep. Like a 1-game suspension is solid. Like that's good enough. Yeah. And of course, watching what happened 2 players prior, you even understand why he did it. It was stupid, but you at least get it.
Yeah.
So
I want to see the same people that say Payne should be suspended for the year. Watch that video, and then let's get your immediate reaction. If the immediate reaction is, well, he didn't get caught, I'm like, okay, so that's what we're doing now?
That's what the league does. That's what the league does. So, it's frustrating, but is what it is. And before we get out of here, obviously we need to do our power rankings, and that is brought to you in part by True Fusion Gym. Free 5-day pass, any of the 3 locations, Bellevue, Ballard, University Village. You use a QR code on the screen there to get registered. Pilates Bootcamp, Yoga Bar, and more. They do have Reformer Studios coming in soon, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, find your edge, True Fusion Gym. And of course, if you listen to our sports betting show that comes up on Thursdays, use the QR code here, up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee in case you follow our advice and happen to get that L. So there is always that. And of course, if you are here in the Pacific Northwest, Archer Duck Cleaning, you haven't if you haven't done your duck cleaning in the last year, or if you are starting to smell that kind of burning smell when your furnace turns on, with as cold as it's getting, indoor air quality is huge. $50 off anything booked
Very
in
good
November.
service.
So there we go.
Can I say, Archer, I was not laughing at your promo. My brother posted something ridiculous.
I just saw your eyes. I was just like, I knew it wasn't whatever I was doing.
Raj threw me off there. So
if you mean by climb the ladder to like jump off a cliff, yes. That being said, there has been quite a bit of movement over the last week here. And the biggest drop is the Bucks. I think the injuries have finally caught up with them. Obviously, the Niners are long gone. But you're starting to see some big movers. Eagles, not really a huge mover, but they take over that number 1 spot because the Bills have looked kind of terrible. That was also a bad loss against a bad team.
Yeah.
What's up, Raj? I didn't move the Lions from where they were, but a couple of NFC West teams moved up quite a bit. I can't really keep them in the middle of the pack anymore as well as they've been playing and the way that they've been winning. So the Seahawks and the Rams both elevate through there. Chargers finally poked their head back onto this list. So it, wow. Exactly.
Sorry. Yeah. In many ways, you could say the Seahawks and Rams have been playing more consistently than the Eagles, even with the same record. You know,
oh, no question. No question.
Feel like you know what more to expect from them. The Saints, yeah.
I mean, the Saints won too.
Can I still say again, them re-signing Kamara to that deal still made no sense at the time, and it's like making less sense as we go along. But that's neither here nor there.
I didn't get that one at all. I mean, the only thing you can take any positive out of this Saints team is it does look like their rookie quarterback can at least play the ball, right? Like he can at least play football. So,
which, I said it at the time. Yeah. So we won't go too much of that. I did listen to a podcast where the guy was like, "This is a great move," and I was like, "No, it's not. Like, he's not going to help. Go get some pieces if he's got anything left in the tank." Which you never know. So that was terrible. But no, I like the power rankings this week. Getting back on track. Will the Colts be able to surpass the Bills at some point?
I mean, they can. The Colts are they're interesting because they're just hard to take serious, I guess, is my issue. I mean, they haven't played a lot of good teams.
Right.
Now they're beating the teams in front of them. So, I mean, there's that.
Yeah. But the Falcons had a million chances to win that game. So they're just the Falcons. So.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Is realistically the Colts should have lost that game. And so this is where, because this is a voting type of thing as well. Did they get the win? Sure. Did they like accidentally win? Absolutely. And so that's why they fade a little bit, even in a win. Now, at the end of the day, they're still one of the best teams in the league. So that's why they're here. Do I honestly think they're better than the Bills? No. Have they been more consistent than the Bills? Sure. But I mean, you could make that same argument for the Broncos and the Patriots. Like if we were going just based off a record, the Bills probably end up at 9th.
Right.
So, I mean, record.
The Broncos are playing with fire too. So I get that too, for sure.
Yeah. Right. Like I don't know. Now the Patriots, I've probably ranked a little too low based on the way they've been playing. But again, the wins haven't all been good either, right? Like they played some terrible teams. So, but a couple of the wins that they do have, like their win against the Bills, realistically could have had them above the Bills as well, right?
Right.
So it just some of this is subjective, obviously.
Yeah. And those early season, because in some ways, like you said, because it's subjective, it mirrors things like the Bills starting out at a higher position. It's harder to bring them down. And you see that, Notre Dame started off in like the top 5, lost their first 2 games and was still a top 25 ranked team. So it's easy, sometimes dragging you down from where you start is a little bit tougher. So I get it. Now, I mean, this is going to shake out too in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. That's the thing, Raj. The offensive talent has been there for sure. And I didn't, like I said, Jay Bake, I thought that was a terrible move when they decided to keep him in the middle of what they were doing. I don't know why you would tie up more money.
Exactly. Well, and
You know.
when you're looking at the Dolphins at this point, why aren't you moving some of these higher price guys?
Yeah.
I mean, because you have to imagine the next domino to fall is McDaniel getting fired. I'm actually surprised he hasn't gotten fired already. But, you've already got 2 coaches fired this year. McDaniel seems like he's probably out at the end of the season, regardless of how this works out. Tyreek's not going to be back. Waddle's having a great year, so if you were going to move him, you probably should. It's not like you have a fantastic defense. Like this is a team that's primed to just be like, hey, you know what? We tried a thing. It didn't work. Let's start over. It's not as bad a situation as like the Jets where they're rebuilding the rebuild of a rebuild.
Right.
Like at least this one, it's like, okay, they really did kind of go for it and it just didn't pan out, which happens.
Yeah.
But I feel like where you're at with some of these contracts and stuff, it does make sense to just be like, hey, you know what?
Yeah. No, yeah. I agree. I thought Waddle was for sure maybe at the height of his value because they'd seen a couple games without Tyreek and said, okay, maybe he can. But I was reading about their asking points for it and, asking price and was it starting at a first and maybe some teams didn't want to pay that. But I feel like you should have gotten something for him for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that was like the Jets not trading Hall. Like, why wouldn't you have traded him?
Yeah.
Like some of the things that didn't get done before the trade deadline seemed kind of crazy. Not moving Waddle is one of those because I feel like this is the one time Waddle's been healthy. He's balling out. He's at the height of whatever you could get for him. There's still a year on his contract. So then, you can be like, okay, look, it's not just a rental. Like you get him for another year. And, but yeah, for whatever reason, they couldn't seem to do anything, or maybe they thought they were going to somehow still have a chance. I don't know how you could think that, but maybe.
What I always say, short-term thinking versus long-term, it's clearly a long-term thing. Like, go ahead, get rid of the rest of the pieces, and okay, look, the rest of this year is going to be rough, but guess what? The first half of this year has already been rough. Like, it's fine at this point, Get whatever you can, but you trade like a defensive piece on a spot that's already worse. Like, plug and play, especially if you're keeping A-Chain. He's like, 75% of your offense at this point. If you were going to keep him, then you can get rid of the other guys and make serviceable wide receivers out there. Washington will be fine. He won't be Waddle, but he'll be okay. So,
that does get us to the top of the hour here. We didn't get to our WNBA topic, so we will have to talk about that next week.
Yes,
because there is Project B out there, and that's going to be something very interesting because of the price tag that these women are going to be signed to. So be sure to tune in next Wednesday for that. Otherwise, if you are watching on my YouTube channel, stay tuned for the next hour. We got Coast to Coast coming up next. Other than that, we're going to get out of here. Have a great week, everybody.